Linda Carter had always believed that her greatest success wasn't her career, her savings, or even the house she managed to buy after her divorce. It was her son, David. He was the reason she worked late nights and skipped vacations. Every sacrifice she made, every extra shift she took at the hospital, was for him. For years, it was just the two of them against the world. When her husband left during David's middle school years, Linda promised her son he'd never go without love or stability. And she kept that promise, until the day David crossed a boundary she never thought he would. It started with small things. A missing $20 bill here, a few groceries unaccounted for there. Linda brushed it off. She remembered what it was like being 22, trying to find your way, sometimes needing help but being too proud to ask. David had recently dropped out of college and was working odd jobs, but Linda didn't pressure him. "You'll find your path," she told him often, offering patient smiles. But one Thursday morning, when she opened her banking app, her heart froze. A $3,000 transfer had been made from her account to someone named Tasha M. Linda didn't recognize the name. Her first thought was that it was a bank error. Her second was fear. She called the bank immediately, pacing in her small kitchen as the representative pulled up her records. "Ma'am," the woman on the phone said gently, "it looks like this transfer was made from your online account. Same login, same device." Linda felt her stomach drop. My device. Yes, ma'am. An iPhone. The same one that accessed your account last week." Linda's heart pounded. There was only one other person who sometimes used her phone, David. That evening, when David came home, Linda tried to stay calm. He looked tired but cheerful, tossing his jacket on the couch and opening the fridge. "Hey, Mom, what's for dinner?" "David," she said, voice trembling, "we need to talk." He froze at her tone. When she mentioned the missing money, his eyes flickered, just for a second. That tiny hesitation told her everything. "Mom, I can explain," he said quickly, but the words tumbled out like excuses. He owed a friend money. He was planning to pay her back. It wasn't a big deal. "Not a big deal," she said, tears forming. "David, that was my savings for the new car. I trusted you with everything I have." His expression hardened. "You don't understand, Mom. I didn't have a choice." Linda felt something inside her break, not because of the money, but because her son had chosen deception over honesty. She told him she needed space. He left that night, slamming the door behind him. The next few weeks were silent. Linda went to work, cooked for one, and stared at the empty chair at the dining table. Nights were the hardest. She kept replaying his words, wondering where she went wrong. Had she been too lenient? Too trusting? One Sunday, she attended church, a place she hadn't been in months. The pastor spoke about forgiveness, about how holding on to pain poisons the soul. Linda listened quietly, tears streaming down her face. She realized she missed her son, not the man who lied, but the boy who once ran to her after every little victory. So she wrote him a letter. It wasn't about money, it was about love. "Dear David," she wrote, "I raised you to be honest, even when honesty hurts. I can forgive mistakes, but I can't forgive silence. Please come home. We can fix this together." 2 days later, she heard a knock at the door. When she opened it, David stood there, eyes red, face weary. He looked smaller somehow. He handed her a check. "It's not much, Mom. But it's a start. I'm sorry." She didn't take the check. She stepped forward and hugged him tightly. "It's not about the money, sweetheart," she whispered. "It's about you coming home." In the months that followed, David got a steady job at a repair shop. He moved back in, helping with groceries and yard work. They rarely spoke about the betrayal, but something new grew between them, an honesty that hadn't existed before. One spring afternoon, Linda suggested they plant a tree in the backyard. "Something that reminds us growth takes time," she said. As they dug together, David smiled. "Like us," Linda chuckled. "Exactly." The young tree swayed gently in the breeze, its roots finding strength in the same soil that once held their pain. Because sometimes, the hardest boundaries to rebuild are not fences or doors, they're trust and love. But when a heart truly forgives, even broken bonds can grow again.